Lauren the Rosa. So I've been here for a little bit. I've been here for a minute.
Move out the way. Tell her. Made it.
This is the Rumor Report.
I think a lot of people will recognize the voice and the name.
On the Breakfast Club.
Lauren came in hot.
You know,
Didn't she, right?
I came in telling the truth. So Omarion recently sat down with Jason Lee over at Hollywood Unlocked. Shout out to them. Mm-hmm. And he talked about the fact that at one point in time, him and Karrueche were almost a thing.
One of the girls that try to hook you up with a lot of people don't know is Karrueche.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Uh-huh.
Me, Chris Brown, and Omarion, y'all were brothers.
Yeah.
Right? One night, they said, bring all these girls. So I brought all these girls. And one of the girls was Karrueche.
Right.
Do you remember that night? Y'all were kind of feeling each other. And
that's true.
I thought y'all were going to be a thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then she was on Media Takeout with Chris.
Right.
And you never say anything. What? If I was you, I would,
Come on now, you got to be unbothered.
You've been unbothered for a long time.
What would there be? What would Omarion have to say though?
I mean, him and Chris Brown were friends at one point.
But if they they didn't seem like they were dating. It seemed like they came to a party and they were talking.
But there's also like always been, I mean, since I think they're good now, and we'll get into that. We have some audio, but there has been like a little bit of like a weird friction with Omarion and Chris Brown.
I think
it's more so just like career comparisons and like that whole thing. Like there were jokes going around at one point in time that like Chris Brown stole Omarion's career. There was one point. Yeah, there was one point when Omarion had dropped a project. This was like 2017. And a fan commented and said, it takes this dude years to come out with an album. I guess everybody and Chris Brown. Omarion responded and said, it's because I make music for the soul, not just for business purposes.
But how could Chris Brown steal Omarion's career? Chris Brown came out as a solo artist in 2005. Omarion was still with B2K around that time, right?
Yep. Sure was.
So Chris Brown's career is his career. Omarion's career is his career. We got to stop thinking that just because one person is winning, somebody else has to lose. That's not how it works in the music industry.
Or that they both singing and dancing, that somebody takes somebody's style.
But that's
like
how
Chris
people,
Brown came out singing and dancing.
That's how people do, though. Like
people are niggas.
Us. Niggas.
Oh, okay.
That's how it is. It's like if you got one person that's singing, dancing, and smoothing all around the stage, another person can't do it too.
Which is crazy because that means we could have 2 or 3 or 4. You can have multiple.
And even with this situation, so if Jason Lee brought some women to a party and we all decided to talk to him, maybe she was talking to Omarion, didn't like Omarion, and then was speaking to Chris like Chris. You know what I mean? So I don't. They weren't dating. They weren't together. They weren't holding hands.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Even if they were though, yeah. Let's hear the audio because he does speak to the Chris Brown part of the conversation.
I've always looked at CB as like like a brother. You know what I mean? Even if it's from a distance, even if I don't agree with some of the things that he says or he does. You know what I'm saying? Like one thing I do know is when I see CB, he always show me respect. You know what I'm saying? He always be like, hey, bro, because I seen him down in Vegas for Lovers and Friends. And it's been a while since we ran into each other. We actually ran into each other
and we're able to talk?
Yeah, at the same hotel. It was just like, oh, what up? It was still very respectful. And that's all that I ask, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, I don't forget.
And I think it's interesting to point out, like, even when Omarion posted this, he said something in his caption about, like, having to get over our own, like, preconceived notions and, just how we interpret things that other people may do or say or not say, like, something to that effect. I think that's important, too, because when you are there, sometimes it's not people. Sometimes you in your own head about
That's facts.
what people are saying, what's in the comments, what all that back and forth, and then that creates a friction that
is people, though. I mean, and that's why I always say, like, you got to be very careful of social media because you'll get on social media and you'll let social media dictate your thoughts for you.
Dictate your emotions.
It'll be narratives. It'll be things that you weren't even thinking about that somebody will put in your head. And now all of a sudden you believe it, or other people will believe it. It's just like, the only validation you should care about, the only opinion you should care about is yours. That's why I never understand when people get so mad about what folks are saying about them on social media. Shouldn't you knowing the truth be enough?
Yeah, I think things compound though, right?
Yeah.
Because like if at that time Omarion didn't feel like his career was where he wanted it to be, Chris Brown is doing well. You got everybody around you talking about Chris Brown and basically saying that should be you. You have to build up that armor of like, nah, I'm good where I'm at. I'm cool. I'm good over here. That takes a little minute. You was in the comments and all that at one point?
I've never cared. Envy will tell you that. I ain't never cared about what people say about me.
You used to lean into stuff.
Nah,
But I was playing the game.
He
But I never
didn't
cared.
care. He never cared.
I
Me, I
never
like to
cared.
clear up my stuff. Like if somebody has a notion or something about me, I want to clear it up because I don't like the narrative going around that something that's, let's say, is not true, and I want to tell people what the truth is. That's always been me.
I'm
Charlamagne
learning.
don't care.
I can
Charlamagne
And
do
you're
don't care.
helping me learn because there's been sometimes where I'll be like, should I? And you be like, no, we moving on from that. Like,
That's it.
you helping me
The
learn.
only thing he ever cleared up is Morris Chestnut. He don't look nothing like Clarence Morris Chestnut.
First of all, never had to clear that up.
If he
Morris
was trying to
Chestnut-
beef with you though, like, how would you handle that?
Why would we beef when we came off the same assembly line?
See?
Please.
That don't make no sense.
Child.
Me, Morris Chestnut, Jeezy, same assembly line. Morris
No.
Chestnut said that himself on
I
Jennifer
feel like you
Hudson's
come
show.
from where like the Walmart tours are assembled. He's more like Amazon efficient. Like,
That's
it's a little
disrespectful.
It's a
That's
little different.
disrespectful.
It's
No,
a little
not. It's the same
different.
thing.
Wow.
It's the
It's
same
not
thing.
the.
She
You
called
ever been?
you a Walmart
You
hoe.
ever been in
Do we have
Walmart
the
versus
clip,
Target?
Fred, do we have the clip?
Very recently, for the first couple of times, they thought I was Charlamagne the guy.
Charlamagne?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look from this way. Anybody
Yeah.
see that one?
Okay. So yeah, I think every bald-headed black dude, with a goatee, right?
Just want y'all to know on demand, on cue.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, you got to keep
Right
it.
there,
You
right
got-
there, it's right
She had
there.
to turn him around and
She
see
said,
him from
"Let
the
me-
back. She's
let
like,
me
turn
look-
around, let me see you from the back.
Looking
I
like
don't see it.
looking like the Morris Chestnuts.
Go sing, Jennifer. I still don't understand why Jennifer had to hate so hard on that moment. Okay?
Well, we gonna move on. So, Tinashe had an intruder at her home. So this is really scary, really, really scary. So there was a guy that showed up to her home several times, and at this point, she is asking for a temporary restraining order because number one, he showed up at her brother's birthday party. There has been some things where he's kind of, been stalkerish online to her. He showed up at her house multiple times, and one of the times she actually had to hide in her own home because he tried to get in the home.
She needs to call Robin Evans.
She definitely need to call Robin
for
Evans
sure.
and learn how to shoot.
Yeah,
because
she needs to call Robin
this
Evans.
guy was actually locked up, but he was released because of that the new rules or laws around like the bails in LA.
She needs to call Robin.
Yeah, this is scary.
That's why women need to learn how to shoot. That's why we
I
had Robin Evans up
totally
here
agree.
from Chicks with Chickers this morning.
Totally agree. Even just sitting here talking about this is making me feel like I need to get my triggers together.
You should.
I'm going to.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. And again, shout to Robin Evans for joining us. Of course, she runs the company Chicks with Triggers,
That's
where
right.
she tries to teach women how to defend themselves, not only with firearms, but with knives or their hands as well. And also Leslie Effin Jones for joining us this morning as well.
Does Robin teach you how to control your temper too?
Yeah,
I'm sure, absolutely.
Everything is strategic. Nothing,
Yeah,
is nothing is
Because that's always
nothing
been
is
my
emotional.
fear. Like, I get that, and then homeboy do something.
Well, she'll teach you, I'm sure, the rules and the laws so to see when you need to use that weapon and when you shouldn't. You just can't be shooting people, Lauren.
Yes.
Just can't be mad and shooting somebody. Just because a guy does something, you just can't shoot him.
And don't be confused. Robin's background to her father, one of my mentors, Professor Robert Evans, he is a grandmaster of modern Jiu-Jitsu, and he's a former NYPD police officer, and he's a medical doctor. So, she comes from great pedigree.
That sounds like therapy, meditation, and a 22. I love all that
There you
together.
go.
He kick your ass and talk you through
Yeah, I
it.
love that. I love that.
He'll be right there
Soothe
to
you
help
through
you.
it, too.
He'll talk you through the trauma he just caused
He'll
you.
pat you right up and then talk you through as he's giving you stitches. All right, when we come back, we got the People's Choice Mix. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.